Hello everyone and welcome back to another Pick-A-Card reading. In this reading, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to split the deck into 6 packs. So we're going to have 6 cards in each of these packs, and for each one we will assign one of these charms. We've got 3 stones and 3 charms. So the point of this reading is to focus you on what's ahead for you just next. So we'll keep that pretty open and we'll just ask, what is just ahead for me? It's a pretty busy time, and I think for some of you, you might feel like you're all over the place. So we might want to draw this to focus a little bit on what is just ahead. So I want you to be part of the shuffling. I'm going to take this deck and shuffle it, and then we're going to split it into 6 packs. All right, now I'm going to fan the deck and I'm going to choose 6 cards for each pack. All right, here are our 6 packs. I want you to choose one for your reading for what is just ahead for you. So we've got Carnelian, we've got Brandberg, and we've got Teal. That's the 3rd pack. We've got a Chinese fortune coin. We've got a small compass here. And we've got a bell, a little bell. So I want you to think of which pack you want to focus on for your reading. Take a minute. And now that you've chosen your pack, head over to the description and look at the timestamp for your pack. So we start with 1 Carnelian, 2 Brandberg, 3 Teal, 4 the Chinese fortune coin, 5 the compass, and 6 the bell. All right, let's start with the first pack, the one for the Carnelian. So I've got those 6 cards here, and I'm going to keep them in the order that we drew them in. All right, so for the Carnelian group, these are some really good cards to see. We have the mountain on top of the key, the clouds on top of the bear, and the ship on top of the moon. So the first thing that I see that stands out in this 6 card reading is the clouds. So clearly there is a bit of a challenge here, and it is all the more brought out because of the mountain. So when we have the mountain and clouds, we are looking at some obstacles, but I'm very happy to see the ship on the other side of this because it seems that you're going to break through the obstacles. And when we see the key with the mountain, we are also looking at the idea of breaking through obstacles. So you're really focusing on solutions. You want to focus on the outcome, on the result. Just think about what you need to do so that you can move past the issues, so that you can move past the challenges, and you will. And then the bear is below the clouds, which also demands strength, and I would even say some stubbornness. So you really need to put your mind to this so that you can focus on the solution. And it's really nice to see the moon and ship together, because the moon is a card of success and recognition, of unfolding in a beautiful way. And when we see it with the ship here, it suggests that you are going to move past these obstacles. Now, what's also interesting is that a trip is very possible for you, because the mountain and ship are both travel cards. So that could just be ahead for you as well. Now, I would say if that's at all in your plans, I would say be careful of the planning. Things could feel a little bit all over the place, and you want to make sure you've got your itinerary and your plans straightened up, because you don't want any issues coming up down the line. And looking at the bottom line here, we've got the key, bear, and moon, and these are beautiful cards together. The key and bear suggest some wonderful success, a lot of strength, and with the moon, you could really get recognition. It's really possible for you. You resolve these issues, you move past these obstacles, and you actually get recognition for it. So this can happen in any area of your life. It could be on the job, it could be in a project, it could be within a social circle. You really seem to lead the way with the solution, with your thinking, with your creativity and your brainstorming and your breakthrough, and you certainly could get recognition for it. So there are plenty of positive energies here. The idea is to focus on breaking through the challenges, thinking clearly. You want to focus and concentrate until you find that solution, and I am very certain that you will. So to answer the question, what is just ahead for you? Well, problem solving and success, breaking through obstacles and moving past them. This is what's ahead for you. And not only that, but you're in for quite a bit of success. This could be a time when you step up to the next level. You could even get a promotion. You could set sail in this new direction and really get recognition and honors for it. Now, I also want to read a few more indications here. We've got the mountain, bear, and ship. Again, the idea of travel is really possible. You might have someone who lives abroad and you could be traveling to them, or they could be traveling to you. Of course, it's the season and people are getting together, so that is really possible. And then we've got the key, clouds, and moon. Another very beautiful indication of success. The idea of brainstorming and breaking through and finding solutions is definitely at hand. And with the moon on the other side of the clouds, we are looking at some very positive success. So again, what's ahead for you? Problem solving, breakthroughs, intelligence, standing out, and possibly even getting promoted or stepping up to that next level. A wonderful set of cards. Now, before I let you go, I want to point you to the description box where you'll find a free download. Download some Lenormand resources if you're interested in reading this deck. It is such a wonderful deck. And head over to my website. I also have a number of other resources that I'd love for you to go through, from private readings to guides, free guides, master guides, and master courses. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in our next Pick-A-Card reading. All right, and now for the Brandberg. I've got the 6 cards. I've got them in the same order that we drew them in, and I'm going to keep them in this order and lay them out in this 6-card layout. All right, so what is just ahead for you, Brandberg group? Well, we see the coffin is very much in the center here. The coffin is all about taking time out and resting. And when I see it next to the garden, I have all the more reason to say that. And on top of that, when we see it with the lily, definitely it's a time to relax, to take stress out of your life. You need to step back and rest. You need to take time out for yourself so you can regenerate your energy. So this is definitely a clear indication that is coming through right now. We're also seeing the man. The man is a relationship, and it's an important one. And though it's on top of the sun, which is a beautiful combination for relationships, we also see it on the other side of the coffin. So it's possible here that you take time out from someone. If you are in a relationship, it might be a good time to take time out. But it's also possible that someone needs to go for some time, someone needs to be absent for some time, or you're away, and so there is a separation between you and this other person. Now, I'm not saying this is negative. On the contrary, this is a positive time for this. This is a good time to rest and relax. So if you need time out from certain relationships, then definitely do that. Because on the other side of this, there is a very positive renewal here. We've got the man and sun, very beautiful. And like we saw the coffin and lily, definitely taking time out. Now let's look a little bit at the garden and anchor. This combination has to do with staying put. So even though it's the holidays and it's time out, what we're seeing for you is the idea that for the next phase, or what is just ahead for you, you need to just stick around with what you're doing and where you are, and maybe avoid distractions, avoid certain relationships, or take a step back from a social environment, because you are focusing, I see here from the bottom line, you are focusing on completing a certain phase and a certain milestone. So we read the top line. The bottom line, anchor, lily, and sun, is a powerful combination of achieving a milestone. This is so lovely and it is so beautiful, and I love that it is figuring right now for you. We see the anchor, lily, and sun, and this has to do with a major achievement. The anchor advises you to stick with it until you see it through. You are going to do this. You are going to succeed beautifully. And this is really going to pour into this relationship element that we're seeing in the top line. So far, overall, what we're seeing is you need to take a step back or take time out from the social atmosphere and a certain relationship in order to bring something else to a head. And it's possible that this thing that you need to bring to a head has to do with your work and career. That's possible. But what we're also seeing is that it's a major achievement. It's a major milestone for you. So this is lovely to see. And on top of that, we've got the sun. So we are definitely looking at some really positive success for you. Now, just a few more indications. We are seeing the garden, lily, and man. Again, I suspect this could have to do with the job, because each of the garden and the lily could be associated with work. And with the man here, we're looking at someone senior, who's someone experienced, someone mature, who has to do with your efforts, probably someone who is giving you the space and whom you're taking space from so that you can achieve what we're seeing in the bottom line. I do think this is someone who is supportive, who understands what you're after, who understands your ambitions. And then we've got the anchor, coffin, and sun. Again, another beautiful combination suggesting a successful completion. A successful completion. Again, I really want to urge you to stick with it until you see it through. Success is around the corner. You've got support when you tune back into this social environment here. So a wonderful set of cards. Very best of luck with this. Make sure you put in the effort to bring it to a head. And before I let you go, I want to say that you want to check out the description for a couple of free downloads. I'd love for you to get to know what we do here with Lenormand. And you also want to check out my website for private readings and other resources, including master guides and master courses. It's all on there. I'd love for you to visit. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to our next pick-a-card reading. All right, here we are with the Teal group. I've got the 6 cards. I've kept them in the same order that we drew them in, and we are going to use this order to lay out the 6 cards. All right, here are some pretty exciting cards. Now, what is ahead for you? News, information, knowledge coming your way. Where am I seeing that? From these 3 cards here. We've got the writer, the book, and the letter. And when we have the letter and book together, it suggests that this has to do with some important news that comes your way quickly, suddenly, and just around the corner. And on top of that, we've got the writer to confirm that, because the writer is also a messenger, and it's also a speedy card. So we've got these 2 together that suggest speed, and then we've got the writer and letter and the writer and book that also suggest news coming your way. Now, the woman is the one who has to do with this news. Either she receives it, possibly you send the news, that is possible, or she sends it to you. And then we've got the home in here, and then we've got the house in here, which suggests this comes from home, from family, friends, or your closer circle. And on top of that, the tower can have to do with your parents' home, or possibly the home where you grew up in, your back home, if you've got a back home. The idea that someone older or someone elder is implicated by this is also possible. So what is ahead for you? Clearly, this has to do with news. So we've got the writer, book, and woman. Like we said, there is some information that comes your way, possibly from this woman or to this woman. And the idea of having the book and the writer is that information needs to be revealed. Information needs to come out into the open. Whatever this news is, possibly you'd been waiting for it. Maybe it's been mysterious for a while. Now it needs to come through. And this woman is implicated here. And then we've got the letter, house, and tower. And again, the idea of news coming through is clearly indicated through the letter. Having the house and tower together can refer to a place from the past. Your family home, your home of origin, your roots is possibly indicated by the tower. Your parents' home, this is also possible here. So all of these together are clearly pointing to news. And because of the house, I'm tempted to think that this has to do with home and family. But it's also possible that this has to do with work and the job, because the tower can sometimes refer to the corporation or the business, these big organizations. And with the house here, it can refer to your department at work, your department within the bigger corporation here. That is possible. And when we see the letter and writer and book together, it can refer to a certain announcement. The woman in this sense can refer to either a colleague or possibly a manager, because she's on top of the tower. She could be someone in a higher position. And so there could be news in relation to this. And so this is exciting because it's going to come through. You're going to get the news. You're going to get the information. And so next is, what do you do with this information? Are you going to act on it? Well, from these cards, I'm not seeing that you're going to act on it just yet. I would say, because of the book, you want to double check all the facts before you act on any of this information. Research the facts, get into the details, don't jump the gun, and do that research before you take any action, if action is needed in your context. So overall, what is just ahead for you? There is news, information, revelations coming your way. So that is the main interpretation, I would say. It's also possible that you need to send out this communication. It's also possible that you're the one who needs to take initiative and send out this information, possibly to this woman in relation to the home or the job. And so if that's the case for you, then I would say, don't delay. Do that thing. Take that initiative and send out this communication. I would just add, do your research and make sure you've got all of your facts right before you communicate this information, okay? So this is what is ahead for you. Communication, news, revelations, revealing information, sharing information, receiving information, and so on. All of this in relation to news and information. So let me know how this is playing out for you. I'd really love to know what has been revealed to you. And very best of luck with this. Now, before I let you go, I want to point you to the description box where you'll find a couple of free downloads. I'd love for you to learn more about this wonderful practice. And if you head over to my website, I also offer private readings and a whole lot of other resources, including the master courses and the master guides. So thanks again for tuning in, and I look forward to our next reading together. All right, and here we are with the Chinese fortune coin group. I've got the 6 cards that we drew from the pack, and I've kept them in the same order that we drew them in, and I'm going to keep them in this order, and I am going to lay out the cards in the 6 card layout. Oh, wow. Isn't this interesting? What is just ahead for you? Moving past the disappointment. Look at the bottom line. We've got the mouse and snake. These are 2 challenging cards. And then on top of that, we've got the heart. So it has to do with a personal disappointment. Maybe your heart has been a bit broken. Maybe you're feeling disappointed in someone. But what do we see in the top line? The beautiful flowers, star, and child. And what does this have to do with? Turning a new page, healing, and recovery. What a beautiful message. I am so delighted to see these cards. So let's look at them in a bit more detail. When we see the mouse and snake, each of these cards are challenging. Each of these cards have to do with a disappointment, mistrust, possibly even a bite, like someone hurtful. And because of the heart in this line, I see that this has to do with a personal thing. So it's a relationship, or your feelings had been hurt. This is clearly indicated by the mouse, snake, and heart. Now, the flowers and star and child is all about healing and recovery. What a powerful combination. It's so unusual to find them, all 3 of them together. So the flowers is about recovery because it's about spring. So, after the winter, the flowers bloom. So there is that sense of freshness and refreshes that come through. And then the star is all about healing and wish fulfillment. And the child is all about things new and that sense of innocence and freshness again. So what we're seeing through this beautiful, beautiful line is that you are able to put this disappointment behind you. You are able to completely heal. You can even forgive and forget and turn over a new leaf on this situation. What a wonderful set of cards. I can't get over it. And then when we read the 2 card combinations in the columns here, we also have very beautiful messages, because The flowers and mouse helps you overcome the challenges of the mouse. The star and snake helps you overcome the challenges of the snake. I mean, each of these two positive cards help you overcome the two challenging cards. And then this beautiful message here on the right hand side, the child and heart, has to do with a new heart, a new love, a new sense of feeling, and a new hope definitely coming through. I mean, what a beautiful set of cards for you. This is such a beautiful thing. So this can be in any relationship or any situation where you are involved emotionally and your feelings are heightened in this situation, and this disappointment, well, you are going to be able to put it behind you. And if this has to do with separating from a relationship, then clearly this is the right time, and you can be sure that something new is ahead for you, something beautiful. So trust yourself, embrace your hopes, trust that life has your highest good at heart, and it is unfolding. Let go of whatever this situation was. Let go, forgive, forget, move on. It is time for something new. You can do this. You can turn a new leaf. And I really believe that you are going to experience that sense of relief and freedom and that sense of freshness. You're going to be so glad you let go because something so new and wonderful is ahead for you. What a beautiful set of messages. Let me know how this is playing out for you. Before I let you go, I want to say thank you for tuning in. And I want to let you know that I've got a couple of free downloads for you to check out. I'd love for you to learn more about this deck. And you want to also check out my website. I offer private readings and a whole lot of other resources, including master guides and master courses in Lenormand. So thanks so much for watching again. And I look forward to our next reading together. All right, here we are with the Compass group of cards, and I've got the 6 cards. I've kept them in the same order that we drew them in, and I'm going to stick with that order as we lay out the cards into this 6-card reading. All right, now this is an interesting set of cards. We've got the ring, fox, and tree at the top line, and we've got the bird, clover, and road in the bottom line. How interesting. Now, when we see the ring, clearly we're looking at a relationship, but this is a tricky relationship because we've got the fox on the one hand, and we've got the bird on the other hand, and the ring is really close to each of these. So if I were just looking at these 3 cards, I would say this is a pretty tricky relationship, and you want to be clever with how you communicate with this person. Because of the fox, I would say you don't need to be entirely honest with them, or maybe transparent, should we say? Maybe that's a better way of putting it. As they are with you. I mean, clearly this is someone who's a bit tricky, who needs to be managed. And with the bird here, which is the card of communication, there could be a bit of a discussion here or possibly anxiety because the bird is also associated with tension and anxiety. So this is what could be going on in this relationship. Now, I'm not seeing in what area specifically this relationship is in, although the fox might suggest a colleague or a customer, someone you need to operate with in these ways. That is possible, but it's still possible that it figures in any other area of your life. Now, what is lovely is the rest of the cards, especially the clover. The clover is one of the luckiest cards of the deck, and it's just curious to see it in here. So we've got the tree at the other end of the fox, and we've got the clover and road at the bottom. So these are some very positive cards. Now I want to weave these 2 lines together. We've got the ring, fox, and tree. So this is a tricky relationship, maybe, but the tree is actually really positive, and it tells us that you don't really need to worry at all about it. I mean, you can just go and let it unfold. And actually the road suggests something similar, and it's lovely that we have the clover in here because any tension that was indicated by the bird can be easily resolved, and you can just move past this. So really, I'm not seeing anything beyond a temporary issue that is very quickly resolved. And if this is someone who's clever, who's trying to be clever with you, well, I really don't think they succeed. I think you're cleverer than they are. And you're able to manage them, and you're able to communicate with them intelligently. And I do believe that this puts the relationship on a good footing such that it continues to unfold gradually and positively into the future. So this is a really beautiful set of cards. You are so smart. You really know how to manage this person or this relationship, and you come out on top. I also think that it's possible that you can take advantage of this connection to move forward. Now that's another interesting way of looking at these cards. There's a relationship, maybe it's a tricky person, and maybe they can help you with something, or maybe they're, let's say, a stepping stone to something. Well, if that's the case, then I certainly see you succeeding at that. Again, I want to emphasize diplomacy, managing them cleverly, be smart. I mean, express yourself. I'm not saying be silent all the time, but when you express yourself, be smart about it. And then you will be able to navigate this and come out on top and take advantage of it so you can grow in the way that you want. Now, isn't that wonderful? And let's look at these 2 card pairs here. The ring and bird, like we said, is a bit of tension in a relationship, but also possibly a debate or a negotiation. With the fox and clover, I would say focus on your best interest. That is definitely what's coming through. And like we said, you could take advantage of this relationship to get something out of it, or maybe they help you out, or this is a stepping stone. This is awesome. And then the tree and road, beautiful. The path unfolds in the direction that you want, and we saw this confirmation from the bottom line because of the clover and road. This is beautiful. And another set of cards that we can read is the ring, clover, and tree. Another very positive combination for stepping up, growth, getting what you want, and this relationship being supportive. It's just that with the bird, fox, and road, you just want to manage it, okay? I think you need to sort of guide it. You need to negotiate how it moves forward. And this is where your smarts and your cleverness is going to come in. And I would say keep focused on your goals so that you make sure you're always moving in your goal. Don't be distracted. If there's a bit of noise around you, just focus on yourself and continue moving forward in the direction that is most meaningful to you. So really, what is just ahead for you? Well, a clever management of a situation or a relationship that enables you to move forward in the direction that you want. So we're definitely looking at some success for you. These are some interesting cards. I would love for you to tell me where this is playing out. So leave me some comments. Before I let you go, I want to say thank you for tuning in. And I want to let you know that I have a couple of free downloads. I'd love for you to download them so you can learn more about this practice. And also visit my website. I offer private readings and a whole lot of resources, including the master guides and the master courses for Lenormand. So thanks again for watching, and I look forward to our next reading together. All right, and here we are with the Bell group of cards. I've got the 6 cards that we drew from the deck. I'm keeping them in the order that we drew them in, and I am going to use this order to lay out the 6 cards. All right, now this is a really powerful set of cards. Yes, the whip and the scythe jump out, and they're right in the middle of the 6 card layout. This is clearly indicating a separation or a release from what appears to be a relationship because of the dog. I'm going to get to the fish in a bit, and I'm happy to see the cross and stork on the other side, because even though this is a tough decision for you, I think you're ready to let go. Let's put these lines together. This is important, and this is heavy duty, I would say, but this is important forward movement. I'm really feeling that this is a thrust forward. You need to force yourself out of this, and then you're going to get that sense of freedom. Let's put these lines together. This is important. We've got the fish, whip, and cross. Now, when we see the fish and whip, we are looking at expenses, a lot of expenses, money issues, and then with the cross, this can feel like it's burdensome. You could be overspent. Maybe it's a seasonal element, or maybe it's just what's happening for you now. And so you need to reconsider. You need to reconsider how you're spending or how these material elements are being used. The material elements indicated by the fish. It can be money, it can be other material things. So with the whip, there are challenges here, and with the cross, there are big decisions, okay? So definitely sit down and think about where it's all going, what you're doing with it, if this is right for you, what is wrong with it, and how you need to fix it. And because of the dog, scythe, and stork, especially the scythe, you need to be sharp with these decisions. Now, the dog and scythe and stork is a separation or a break off of sorts with this person. So it's very possible that this person had been draining you, and it's possible that they had been draining you financially or in other material ways. Maybe they just take advantage of you. Maybe they just use you. They're a friend, and maybe you're not feeling this anymore, or you're disappointed in their friendship. In all cases, there is someone who is draining you. And by the way, the dog can also refer to siblings or cousins or anyone in your peer group. And it can sometimes refer to children. So possibly a dependent, someone who depends on you. And with the top line, we're seeing that there could have been some expenses, maybe going a little bit overboard, and that needs to be rectified right now. So with the scythe, what is great about the scythe is that the scythe helps you break off, especially with the whip. So you're not going to be wobbly, you're not going to be hesitant. You know what to do because the cross helps you make these important decisions. You know what to do, and you're going to do it. And when we see the stork on the other side of this, we are seeing forward movement. So you're not stuck. You are not without solutions. You just need to be sharp. You need to recognize the issues, and you need to be sharp with your decisions, and then just move forward and decide that's it. This cannot happen. This should happen. This and that and so on. And you set yourself straight on all of these important decisions, and you make the forward movement. So this is what is coming through for you. What is just ahead for you? Breaking off unhealthy dependencies, rectifying financial and material issues, and moving forward in these important decisions. Moving forward now. So I really want you to focus on this. I want you to focus on the issues. I want you to get real about what is draining you, what you're overspending on that you shouldn't spend on. If there is someone who is misusing your generosity or maybe not acting within boundaries, and you need to create those boundaries, or you need to let go of certain negative energies, I really want you to look at this clearly, squarely, and think about it, weigh it out, and then once you've decided, get moving and let it go. Let it go. You can do this, and you can do this now. So let me know how this is playing out for you. I'd really love to know. Very best of luck with this. This is a challenging set of cards, but not without its rewards. And before I let you go, I want to remind you that I have a couple of free downloads for you in the description. So check these out. It's about Lenormand. I'd love for you to learn more about this. And do check out the website. I offer private readings and a whole lot of other resources, including the master guides in Lenormand and the master courses. So thanks again so much for tuning in, and I look forward to our next reading together.